So, come here often? Do you remember that important videos playlist? That's the one. It's this treasure trove of memes and iconic videos from a long time ago. This spread of content like 700 videos long. Some of it was absolute bottom of the barrel dog shit. And some of it was just truly iconic stuff. Just the perfect distillation of like ironic humor and internet culture. It simultaneously felt like a fever dream and like entering the pearly gates. It would have the most perplexing thing you've ever seen in your entire life, right next to something that would get you sent on a grippy socks vacation. And on both sides of those two things was like a 6-second video that was like the funniest thing you've ever seen, both times, all within like 30 seconds of each other. It came from nowhere, and to nowhere it returned. Like half the videos are gone now, just disappeared. You know, something like this only comes along once in a while, like something that we all just communally understand together. The hive mind fired all at once. We all like took our one brain cells and mashed them together into like a vague approximation of an actual thinking brain. Yup, these are important videos. I instinctively understand what that means. Dude, what a time to be alive. This collection of dumbass videos spoke louder than the sum of its parts. The playlist itself was a monolithic pillar, this crash course in internet humor. The content itself didn't even really matter. You either inherently understood why it existed or you didn't. And it kind of dimmed and burnt out over time like art sometimes does. The whole thing kind of fell apart at the seams, but the internet moves ever onward, even from the iconic shit. If you search for it nowadays, you'll find a bunch of re-uploads, but they're all like different lengths, different runtimes. They all have different videos, and we'll never have the original again. And that's okay. Art was meant to be consumed. Yes, I am calling this art. And it had a fitting end, you know, dismantled by the very creators and people that put the videos on there in the first place. Stop! Fucking stop! Ah, how very, very internet of us to do that. But it got me thinking, wondering, worrying. As the internet gets older, a lot of us are shitting our pants over the preservation of internet content, music, games, blogs, YouTube videos. I mean, we say the internet is forever, but is it? There's a whole million-person movement going on right now for the preservation of online video games and the consumer rights of the people that buy them. There's an entire data center literally called the Internet Archive, whose entire premise is to archive the internet. Huh. Would you look at that? And guess what else? The epic mealtime parody I made for a collab channel when I was a freshman, it ain't fucking in there. Preservation? More like reservation for the grave. No one's gonna remember you. Yeah, a whole lot of somethings aren't being preserved right now, actually. Not only the important videos, but like millions of other things too, just never to be seen again. Granted, a lot of it is like Target's 2013 spring catalog marketing campaign for March 1st to April 30th, but a lot of other cool stuff is just gone now, no matter how hard we try and hang on to it. Turns out the internet is not always forever, and we are kind of finding out quick. And not only that, but what about things that have like functionally disappeared? When's the last time you think someone scrolled through like 70% of your Instagram to find and watch the fireworks video that you posted when you were like 13 in 8th grade, like 20 years ago? Do you remember vague posting on Facebook when you got dumped in middle school? Who's reading that nowadays? You were watching YouTube videos 10 years ago, I guarantee it. What were you even watching back then when you were young and stupid? You don't even remember anymore. Because now you're old and stupid. There is so much shit out there that hasn't disappeared, but no one's fucking looking at it anymore. It hasn't been seen in years at this point, but it still exists. And you know what even else? There's also so much shit out there that's being seen by someone somewhere that you've never even heard of. You ever seen this? I hadn't. What is this? What even is this? The entire internet is just too goddamn big at this point. I mean, even stuff from like 5 or 6 or 7 years ago that was popular back then, who cares about that anymore? Honestly, anything from like, you know, the before times. It feels like an entire world and a lifetime away at this point. Are we gonna so easily forget? I mean, in 2017, we thought shit would never get any funnier than this.
I'm gay.
That's right. So my question is, what's all out there? I'd like to do some exploring, some venturing out into the infinite cosmic expanse of the modern internet and finding lost relics and ancient civilizations there together with you. And I do have something in mind to get started, something I've kept and hoarded just for myself. It's mine. This is mine. I found it. That makes it mine. I'm calling it Internet Buried Treasure. I hear you ask, what makes something Internet Buried Treasure? Well, in my opinion, it's got to have at least one of the following. Number one, low views, low subscriber count, not very many people saw it in the first place. Number two, it was uploaded a long time ago, or the creator stopped uploading entirely. Basically, it's been f***ing forever since this thing has been relevant. And number three, there's no easy mainstream way to find this. Maybe it's hard to even find at all, just obscure. It's got to have at least one of those things. If it has more, it's even better. But I think having at least one kind of shows off like the intent of what we're trying to find here. And a sneaky number four, whatever else I consider buried treasure to be, you kind of just know it when you see it, you know? If that doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. I'm the one making the rules, and I hate rules. So once we dig something up, we'll take a critical look into what it was and what it tried to do, and we'll take it in and really suck all the value out of it, just juice that sweet, sweet nectar that everyone else left behind. And finally, we'll decide if it's gotten better or depreciated in value over time. Maybe we'll put it on a scale. We'll like measure it in terms of its artistic value and entertainment merit. It's maybe something like aged like milk. It has rotted over time, but it still incites a morbid curiosity, like digging up a box of used condoms. Stayed in the attic. It's middling or neutral, and now it's old and covered in dust. Could be a little worse, could be a little better. Those boxes in your estranged father's attic were not full of gold doubloons. It was full of your elementary school art, because the real treasure was inside you all along. Decent ROI, much like a real-life certificate of deposit or savings bond, it just gradually grew in value over time with a modest return. Very safe, very mindful. There's some growth in value here, but it ain't like this legendary stash of booty. It's like, I don't know, $10,000, and you're gonna pay 30% of that to your taxes. And finally, the double S tier, Slappy Stash. Sorely missed and very much needed in the era of the modern internet. Thank God we uncovered this priceless relic. In fact, I heard a knock at the door, and it looks like the British Museum is here for a visit. What's out there? What are we gonna find? I've been thinking about this for a long time. The internet now is just so incomprehensibly wide in terms of scale. On one hand, a barren abyss of meaningless drivel that's forgotten about as soon as it's created. And on the other hand, an infinitely imaginative landscape of art and humor that you can't find anywhere else. Either way, it's all just too comically humongo-mungus to ever take it all in. That's why I, SlappyPat, am going to be your cosmic tour guide in all things lost corners of the internet. Keep your mind open and your faith in me. I will courageously lead the way with humility and grace because I fucking deserve this. Do you hear me? I'm smarter and more mindful than you are. I get to do this, you don't. Keep in mind that I'm going to link to everything that I cover in this series, and you should absolutely check it out, maybe even before you watch this video. In the interest of fairness, they made art first. I'm using their art to try and make my own art. If I wanted to monopolize the attention, I should have made something from scratch. Told you I was humble. This also is going to serve as your spoiler warning, so viewer beware. Slip slap, I'm SlappyPat, your cosmic tour guide into the abyss of the old internet, where we're gonna seek out buried treasure with a critical but appreciative eye and discover just what made it so important. Let's get started. Oh yeah, dude, starting off with the fucking banger, boys. Bob-Omb Battlefield Remix by Normal Activity. Look at that. 10 years ago, only 120,000 views. A quintessential example for what I'm talking about. Do you know how many videos get 100,000 views every day? How many in the past year alone? Do you know how many you've watched yourself and already forgotten about? Much less in the past 10 years? Well, this ain't like any of those, because this one is actually good. Worth preserving, worth sharing with you, because I'm smarter and I have better taste than you. How do you keep forgetting that? All right, let's turn on the adult brain mode here and bravely set forth to unearth the secrets of this internet buried treasure. What category does it fall under? Kinda all of them. They uploaded years ago. There's less than 3,000 subscribers on the channel. There's not enough views on this video to achieve lasting relevancy. They stopped posting in 2016 and the channel has exactly 6 videos on it. It's not exactly front page material. You'll probably only find this if you're searching for it or you're watching other live music covers of video game music specifically and it gets recommended to you. This is the poster child for internet buried treasure. Next question, what does it offer? I can't even remember how I found this video, to be quite honest with you, and I wouldn't lie, because I am humble. When you search up its exact niche, a jazz version of the Bob-Omb Battlefield theme, there's like still 30 other videos before this one even shows up. The thumbnail is kind of innocuous on its own, but it's what drew me in specifically because it's a shot of a drummer. Fun fact, I've been playing drums for 20 years. I played professionally in a band for 6 years before this. I helped write and put out our own original music, and we released multiple albums and EPs. That's right, before I was a cosmic tour guide, I was already way cooler than you could have ever thought. So that's what drew me in personally. The drummers in focus, a rarity, a girl drummer at that, even more rare. I distinctly remember taking in this like darkly lit, kind of cigarette loungy atmosphere that they were going for. Classic setting for some light jazz. At the time, the video felt more artsy and less commercial. Still does, honestly. There's no bright colors on the thumbnail, no gaping mouth or red arrows anywhere. Like, this isn't some adult band dweebs making covers of Nintendo music. They're like real musicians who just happened to cover a Mario song. Captured the fuck out of my gatekeeping elitist ass, I can tell you that much. Dude, I bought in hard, like a beta male buying an entire e-girl's Amazon wish list. I guess that's what it offered, something actually genuine. So what makes it art? This video is so fucking good, dude. I'm a huge proponent of the idea that old chiptune and like 64-bit style video game music deserves a lot of respect, specifically when it was being created with like the limitations and lack of resources of the 80s and 90s. Nowadays, it's kind of played out. The novelty has kind of worn off a bit. It's kind of like soy adjacent, you know? You ever meet some dude that's like a little too into video game music? I'm just saying, if you're one of those guys, and it's always a dude, if you're one of those dudes who like plays it on your car stereo on the first date, you probably look like this. It's still good, dude. I still enjoy video game music on its own, and like a great soundtrack can amplify a good game to legendary status. But to me, it's kind of like how, like, you know how like the people that did math for the space musicians in the 60s, they did it on like fucking miles of paper by hand. I compare that to like just plugging it into a computer nowadays. Dude, it was just way cooler when you were working with less. Like when you only had like 8 kilobytes of space and like 12 sounds in total to make something. Dude, like, limitation breeds creativity, you know what I mean? Like, that's way cooler. Anyway, this video kind of like takes this classic Mario tune and puts this jazz spin on it that, crucially, you'll notice it's not just a straight up cover here. That's the critical angle. They made their own arrangement. It's like loosely based around the main melody of the song, but it's distinctly different, and everyone's just straight up killing it on their instruments and making it look piss easy. Dude, you can tell these are musicians first and game fans second, or even like a distant third, and that's what makes it genuine. And being genuine is definitely the most important part of making anything look fucking cool, along with not giving a fucking shit about anything. What seals it for me, honestly, is like in classic jazz fashion, everyone gets like 16 bars to solo in, and they all fucking crush it, of course. But what makes this entire video is the drum solo, dude. Good God, you guys. And it's not even because I'm a drummer myself. I just have like firsthand knowledge of how talented you have to be to make it look this effortless and sound this good. Dude, it's a lot. The drummer like ebbs and flows with the backing music. There's like this frantic buildup at the end that gets your heart pumping, and she goes for goddamn forever, dude. It's insane. You have to listen to it just for this, you guys, and just watch the whole thing. It's so creative and so cohesive and inspired. I remember being blown away and watching it a second time immediately after I saw it the first time, and just fucking raging impotently that someone else was this much better at my instrument than I was, mixed with a large degree of admiration, because I am not a prideful man. Dude, like this part right here, when she starts like bringing the beat back in through the solo, it's so inspired. I'm so jealous that someone can like come up with this and I could never do it. Seriously, even me just talking about it right now is taking away the magic. You have to go watch it. The camera work, the color grading, the choice of cuts, the whole visual presentation is also just spectacular. It follows with the theme of like, you know, kind of like what I was talking about earlier, you know, of like working within limitation, not punching above your capability. It looks like they're in like someone's bedroom. There's no crazy movement or transitions, just a focused, pristine presentation of exactly what they came here to do, which is putting a clinic on of excellent musicianship. If you're not a musician, that is like a very special level of understanding each other that you get to with enough practice and time and trust. When I was playing music, we had one lineup of guys that just worked way better together than any other lineup. We could like adapt instantly to variation with each other's playing. We could like find a sweet ending together even while we were just jamming. We could improvise over one another endlessly without stepping on each other's toes musically. Dude, it was almost like we could read each other's minds, and we were all just playing our best like 100% of the time. It was amazing. If you've ever played music in a group, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and if you haven't, maybe you'll kind of get it if you've ever been part of like a sports unit, or I don't know. Or if you were in like a really good theater production, or even on like a team at work that just crushes your assignments way better than any other team. It's the kind of cohesion you can only get to when you're like so practiced at your skill that you stop actively thinking about it and perform more based on like instinct and intuition, and you just trust who you're with. You know, when you work with competent people, and like not only that, like not only competent people, but like people that you're comfortable with, there's just nothing else in the world that compares to it. It takes so much effort over time to get to that point, and that's what you're being offered on all fronts with this video and this song. Like visually, acoustically, and idealistically, you can like see and hear the trust and respect that they have for each other, and it results in just a solid, competent performance. Everything was chosen and performed with care and precision, with restraint, but done with passion, and you have to respect that. That's not as common as it should be. Just look at my videos, huh? Restraint is not a concept that is widely encouraged in today's world, and it's a shame because restraint is what separates the good shit from the dog shit. So why wasn't this more popular? In my opinion, like super viral song covers that get a lot of attention tend to be like trend chasers. Like you make an acapella version of a current huge pop song, or like you're selling your corporate approved room temperature IQ sob story on X Factor or America's Got Talent.
I'm doing that, you know, in honor of my parents. They were murdered in front of me. Oh my God.
Or like you have a gimmick like that dude with a super low bass voice that has like, he hits like 20 low notes in every cover that he does, and he like focuses on them super hard.
My shovel and walk to the mine. Well, bless my soul.
Like, dude, like just grabbing you by the back of your neck and just being like, I have a low voice, like and share, like and share, like and share. Do you see how low my voice is? Like and share. Unfortunately, unknown jazz outfit covers 20-year-old game music just isn't cutting it in today's world anymore. Even 10 years ago. In fact, I'm more surprised that this has as many views as it does. Jazz is like the most hated genre next to radio country. The video and music were done artistically and not with like the usual hyper attention grabbing, in your face TikTok brain bullshit style. It like maybe could have popped off within its own niche of like video game diehards or excuse me, cultured OST enjoyers. But even then, I'm not sure that second group is like a big enough audience to go super viral. I'm thinking like 500,000 to 1 million views max if it like really had the right push and there was a big trend of game music covers at the time or something. But even then, there's not anything like mainstream viral about it. It's just like an extremely solid, extremely precise performance, staying in its lane, as it were. It's going to appeal to someone like you and me, people with an actual thinking brain and not like the greedy, fickle, consume ass brains of the masses at large. Guys, if you like video games at all, like especially if you grew up with Mario 64, or you're like a fan of the speedrun, or if you're a music fan or a musician yourself, or even if you just like appreciate talented people doing something that they're talented at, you will appreciate this video as art. Because it is. Not just like musically art, but like it existing in the first place is art. Being a well-crafted video that asks for your whole attention for almost 7 uninterrupted minutes and not apologizing for it, that's the real artistic rarity here. Has this appreciated or depreciated in value? Given the exponential rise of brain rot bullshit, AI slop, digital litter that exists only to monetize your attention span and make you dumber and more complacent, the value of this kind of video has skyrocketed. Just a bunch of real people with real talent sharing their art with you for free, expecting and asking for nothing in return. I don't even know who these guys are, or like what their story is, how they came up, or where they stopped to. I've never purposefully looked into it either. The art speaks for itself, and the mystery makes it all the sweeter. You know, I usually watch this video like once a year whenever I remember it exists, and it goes hard every time. And just a solid, clean ending just like that. Dude, nothing, no wasted time in this video. Absolutely none. Everything that was in there should have been in there. They were so perfect with it. It's so great. Ladies and gentlemen, this one goes right into Slappy's stash. This one deserves it. A banger right out of the gate. We're never gonna do better than this. Cut it short. Just stop the production. We're done. We found it. We found the video. We found the only art on the internet. For real though, I wanted to start off with an S tier to like establish the level of quality that we need to hone in on here. Not just anything is worth stealing for your museum. So in the future, maybe we'll try and be a little more judicious with handing out this tier. But for now, let's just relish in the excitement a little bit, huh? If this is how good we're starting out, how good is it gonna get? I'm very excited to have shared this one with you guys. It is one of my favorite videos of all time, and it's just a shame that it didn't pop off, that it didn't get more views or anything in the first place. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, there you go, you guys. I gave you literal digital gold. Better than Bitcoin, certainly more valuable. I'm 100% sure that you guys appreciate this more than something in your wallets. And that's how I get you to come back, baby. There we go. Oh yeah. So what now? I don't know. I'll figure out how to end this later.